So we're beginning our video today on this street, on Irving and Culver. That's Culver right there. Going that way. And I want to show you this mural over here with Desi and Lucy. Now, it's a pretty cool mural. I think Desi's nose is a little too big. But what's cool about it is it's definitely an I Love Lucy homage. You can see the big mansion behind, and we'll talk about the mansion in a little bit. You'll see it says Desilu Studios, and you see it says Babalu as well. Definitely I Love Lucy. Now, the place where we're at is really important. I'll show you the significance of that and where we are. By the way, this is a fire station. My cousin actually works here. But they say they have a Lucy room in that fire station. And we're gonna do a little bit of walking because I think that you're gonna be pretty happy to see where we are. If you're locals, you know Culver City, then you know where we are. If not, then that's okay. I'll show you where we are. Okay, we're on the other side of the street now. This is as you can see, it's a catering delicatessen, it's a restaurant. And I'm really happy that they had this mural. They were able to get it painted there. We're gonna do a little bit of walking. And what is great about this mural is that it has a connection to Desilu Studio, which you could see in the actual mural. You can see Desilu Studios, you can see the address right behind, and there's a beautiful mansion, which we'll take a look at. That mansion is just a little bit here, and David Bardol, Francois Bardol, Prado Signs was when this was painted. And yeah, so the only reason I'm doing a little post commentary here, the only reason is because there's music blasting. And here it is, the beautiful and ancient historic Culver City Hotel. Now, legend says that it was owned by Charlie Chaplin, and he lost the property in a poker game to John Wayne, who owned the hotel for several years, and then donated it to the YMCA. So that is so cool. It's a very iconic hotel because MGM is right down over there. That's actually, you can see the building, that's Sony right there. That's Sony Pictures, which is now what MGM is called. And then Amazon took over the rest of it that you see over here. So the Munchkins and you know, the actor, the Munchkins, they stayed in this hotel. And it was said that they even had a very chaotic experience there. You can see here, everything here is dedicated. Culver City is the heart of Screenland. People don't know, this is like a second Hollywood. If they didn't film it in Hollywood and it was filmed in LA, it was probably filmed here. Everything like Hogan's Heroes and Batman, the 60s show. Now this is a theater that has been here for a long time. I had my first date when I was 16 in here. So I know the area pretty well, and I've seen this area change a lot. And this hotel's gorgeous. I mean, I'm glad it's still around. Look at this little lion statue here. Look at that, very cool. I think it's from The Wizard of Oz. Not sure, but they have different bricks and so forth. But yeah, the wizard, not the wizard, the lion. Yes. And let's see. So there's a lot of history here, even Mr. and Mrs. Ince, Mr. and Mrs. Culver. Yeah, so Harry Culver is the founder of Culver City, and their daughter, 1917. It's a nice little, this is so cool. It's like metal. Love it. Look at that. Harry Culver's dream becomes a reality. He wanted this to be like a, right, like a Screenland. As you can see, I mean, he was successful. Look at this beautiful hotel here. And then they have little businesses and things like that. This whole area you can actually drive through. There were streets here, but they sectioned it off. They made it like a patio area. There's restaurants and little shops like Phil's Coffee and things like that. I just want to show you the hotel on this side. Let me show you the front. Let's see here. There we go. There we go. The former entrance. Now, by the way, Laurel and Hardy filmed a movie right out here. Very cool stuff. You have the movie lions, the MGM lions. That's not an accident. Look, Wizard of Oz stuff. Wizard of Oz was once filmed 1 block away from the Culver Studios, now Sony Pictures. Members of the cast, Judy Garland, frequented the hotel, which already a prominent landmark. It's based on the novel. Very cool. So Judy Garland did stay here. Shirley Temple's gonna have that role. The lion, wizard. Isn't that cool? I didn't know it. They had this little mini section here. Beautiful entrance, of course. Very nice. Look at the architecture on this thing. Wow. It's very beautiful. All of this is relatively new. During 2020, they built a lot of this, and public parking, like again, this wasn't all here, and so it's a little plaza area. And yeah, I want to show you what's really here, what has so much history, because again, this is all new. So this is gate 1. Obviously we can't go in there, but you can see that this is a very, very famous mansion. There's also an episode of Batman where they pull up to the mansion as well. So that is really awesome. Really cool. It's beautiful. Now, what you may not have known was that Desilu, this was the former Desilu studio. Yeah, so Desilu, this was the former Desilu Studios. Desilu Culver. So there are pictures of Desi and Lucy having like a pool party out here. And so this mansion hasn't changed much. It's like the iconic structure out here. Historic site number 7. On this site in 1919, the Colonial Administration Building, will also become Culver City's 3 major motion picture studios, was completed. Thomas and Studios. So we're going to go through all the names of what the studio was called. It was later known as the DeMille Studio, Cecil B. DeMille, RKO Pathé, Selznick, Desilu, Culver City Studios, and most recently Laird International and Burning of Atlanta for Gone with the Wind were filmed behind this. So this wasn't filmed. This wasn't burned. Now this was 1986. Now it's owned by Amazon, as you can see. It's a beautiful little mansion. It reminds you of like a southern mansion in like Louisiana and so forth. Obviously we can't go there. If you ever seen Crackle and Jerry Seinfeld, there's an episode where he did pull up here and then he goes and sees Michael Richards, who played Kramer, and he played Dick Corcoran, I believe. And Jerry just drives up there. The Batmobile was there with Adam West and Burt Ward, and they just drove up right there. The Joker was up there. The actual place. Now there's like a Trader Joe's, and I love the side. Like everything looks oldish but still really new, just like fresh, right? And they also have little bungalows. Culver Studios. And we'll make our way to the back too, to 40 acres, which is a little bit separate but not too far away. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. This is a lot more of the studios. They do other stuff here, but you can see some of like Spider-Man and so forth, like on the little banners. Because of course, remember, this is Sony. But this is Amazon now. So it's like all these people buy out. This is gate 2. Try not to get run over here. Obviously we can't go in, it's private property, but look, you can see the Amazon logo up there. So that's Amazon, and this is my favorite thing. When I saw this, I kind of freaked out because it's the whole history. So this studio was in studio, then it became Cecil B. DeMille, then Pathé, RKO, Selznick, and it was Desilu Culver, which is what stands out to me. Culver Studios, and then obviously Amazon. And see, so this was made, let's see, 96, 99, 2022, Jim Hyman, Ince, and Culver Studios present. Yeah, but you can obviously see that the Culver Studio is owned by Amazon, as you can see. So that's kind of cool. And this is all new. You can see Amazon logos. And this goes on. This goes on. We're not going to go all the way, but they're basically sound stages all the way down. And they've been retrofitted and upgraded and new looking. And it's pretty beautiful. Not gonna lie. Now 40 Studios is in that area, or 40 Acre Studios. The thing is, it was all remade, so they don't have the former like sound stages and stuff. It's other buildings, but the streets are the same, and they didn't, I guess they paved over it, but a lot of the outlines of the buildings are still there. So we're making up our way to Higuera and Culver in Washington, excuse me, where we go to our next location. This is where Hogan's Heroes was filmed. Literally this building. This is where the berm was, and this shows to the inside of where that was, which is absolutely incredible. This is it. This is 40 acres on the right side. All these buildings were built on top of this strip of land where the Andy Griffith Show was filmed, Gomer Pyle, Hogan's Heroes, Gone with the Wind. All of these big structures are in the way of all of this stuff, which is absolutely amazing. I think the biggest ones are Andy Griffith, of course, that people remember, and of course Hogan's Heroes. Those are the ones that I'm gonna talk about. And the street is like this. It's kind of weird. It's called Hayden Place, and there's like, this is the only way in and the only way out. And yeah, there's other stuff here now, like a gymnasium and stuff like that. And it's really hard, like, to kind of get, but this is it. I'm driving right now on what was 40 acres. Like the Andy Griffith sets and stuff are literally right here where that trash can is, and literally where these cars are parked. This street is the same street. The street wasn't changed, but this was a private area. You could not go here. And then there's a cul-de-sac. That is the street that leads up to the berm where Hogan's Heroes, the main gate, was, and it's just so cool to see. There's a lot of guards and stuff here because they do have like filming and other stuff here, but so they are like aware of your movement still, even though it is like a public. So this entrance right here, this is where the Hogan's Heroes outdoor set was, right here, and then it would continue to the inside there, and then the street is the entrance over there. So this was basically it right here. That is it, Hogan's Heroes right there. And so that little area up to the street, and then this other stuff, they had the, there's a Bologna Creek right behind these buildings, and that's where like the original Tarzan was filmed, you know, the black and white one. All the leaves and shrubs and stuff were from the creek, the Bologna Creek, which is still there. You can kind of see it if you look through there. There it is, see? And it's just crazy. And that's the hill. That's the Hogan's Heroes Hill. That's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. I haven't done a field trip like this in so long. I call them my Rick 9G field trips, where I literally go out and show you these cool sites. I'm glad I was able to show you Desilu Culver, how it stands today, all the different history behind the different studios, where it was renamed and owned by different people, now owned by Amazon, once owned by Selznick and Ince and Desilu and DeMille and all this stuff, RKO. And so that's really awesome. And then showing you the Hogan's Heroes, which was part of Desilu Culver. I do have to reiterate that, which is why if you look at Hogan's Heroes at the end, it does say filmed at Desilu right there. And so it's awesome. Unfortunately, none of that is left standing. They blew up the Hogan's Heroes set in a movie, and I mean, that was about it. Other than that, things have stayed the same in terms of the streets, but everything else is almost unrecognizable. But that was the courthouse area from Andy Griffith, and just all those outdoor sets. The mansion from Gone with the Wind was out there, literally on that street. Really incredible. So I thank you. If you want to support the channel, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. We'll see you all next time, and don't forget, everyone, be hopeful. Thank you so much to all my supporters, especially my diamond tier patrons: Jerry D, Ricky, Citizen Kane 359, Jennifer P, David D, Kevin K, Sally Ann, and Vito L. If you want to be on this list, make sure to check out my Patreon description in the link below. Thank you so much again.